Item 10B, receive an oral report on the city's utility infrastructure improvement program.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. The city is currently in the process of developing a 5-year infrastructure capital improvement program for the upcoming fiscal year 2017 to 2022. And we wanted to take this opportunity to update the City Council on the status of our projects, and as well as the work program scheduled to be completed within the next 5 years. Our city infrastructure are aging, with an average system for both water and wastewater is about 60 years old. And some pipelines are over 100 years old, and they're reaching their useful life, and it's important that they are replaced so that the city can continue to provide a safe and reliable service to the public. The city completed the Water Master Plan update in 2012 and Sewer Master Plan update in 2014. The Water Master Plan provided improvements recommendations of the water distribution system based on capacity, seismic reliability, and replacement needs totaling $240 million. It's important that the water improvement recommendations are implemented to provide a reliable potable water conveyance system without interruption from water main breaks, and to also have adequate pressure and flow for fire during emergency. The Sewer Master Plan also included recommendations for prioritized and scheduled improvement projects for pipelines and pump stations. And the total estimated cost for the recommended sewer improvements is $134 million. In 2011, the city was issued a cease and desist order by the San Francisco Bay Regional Water Quality Control Board, and also entered into a consent decree with the San Francisco Baykeeper, both of which required the city to implement measures targeted at reducing sanitary sewer overflows. The city's current aggressive sewer infrastructure replacement program is to replace pipelines to increase capacity, to meet the requirements of the consent decree, and also reduce sanitary sewer overflows. So this table shows the various water and sewer replacement projects that the city has completed within the last 5 years, from 2012 through 2017, with a CIP budget of totaling approximately $23 million. So how are these improvements projects funded? Well, both the water and wastewater improvement programs are funded through an enterprise fund, paid for by the public through water and sewer rates. No general funds are used to support these improvement programs. And as you can see from the slide, the city completed approximately $16 million worth of water improvements that consist of mainline pipe replacement, pump stations, and the tank. And our water meters were also converted to advanced water meters, which provided benefits to our residents and the cities, which will be presented to you a little bit later. For the wastewater conveyance system, the city completed approximately $5 million worth of improvements. As you can see, there's a savings of approximately $2 million from these projects, as the actual completed cost was less than the budgeted amount. And these savings remain in the enterprise funds and are used for future water and wastewater projects. So since the improvements of the city's infrastructure is dependent on the rates, it's crucial that the rates be maintained or increased to provide adequate financial support for the replacement of the infrastructure. So to meet the consent decree deadline of July 2018, many sewer projects are currently underway. Recently, the city completed 2 sewer main replacement projects, and 1 pump station will be under construction soon. The sewer main replacement projects are located at Genevieve and Trenton. The Genevieve project is one of the capacity projects required to be completed per the consent decree. The new bypass pipeline relieved capacity-deficient issues of backyard sewer, which caused sanitary sewer overflows underneath 2 homes, one at Cherry and one at Chestnut, back in 2010. And the project was successfully completed under budget and earlier than anticipated construction duration. And staff is anticipating to bring the item to council for project acceptance in the next couple of months. As for the Trenton project, that was initiated to prevent sanitary sewer overflows from sewer main pipelines that was located behind the easements of the homes on the south side of Trenton Drive. The pipeline actually had 8 sanitary sewer overflows between 2007 through 2010. So the existing sewer mains was inundated with root intrusion, which required constant and extensive maintenance by work crews. The main Staff also had difficulties assessing the pipeline since the existing pipelines was constructed in a hillside that was heavily populated with eucalyptus trees. So the new sewer main pipeline has been constructed along San Bruno Avenue to convey majority of the sewer flows from the neighborhood. The only remaining work left is the slurry seal along San Bruno Avenue, which is being scheduled, and the project is also under budget. Construction for the spyglass pump station is underway as well, and then the project will replace the pump station with all new components and a force main that will be installed along the street for ease of future access. And that project is anticipated to be completed by the end of the year. So this slide shows the various projects that are currently underway here. That would be completed within the next 5 years. And majority of the sewer projects, as I mentioned, has been brought to council for award of design services contract in order to meet the consent decree deadline. The city is also focusing on replacing many of the aging infrastructure, both water and sewer pipelines that are located in the neighborhoods east of El Camino, shown in areas 1 and 3 there, and as they are much older than the rest of the city. Majority of the water main breaks are also concentrated in those areas, which I'll show in the next slide. So here's a map of the water main break history that we've been tracking from 2000 through 2014. As you can see, the city has water main breaks all over the entire city, indicated by red and yellow dots. Inside each dot, there's a number that indicates the number of main breaks within that area. However, if you focus on the neighborhood that are adjacent to downtown area, within the triangle shape there's substantially higher water main breaks, total about 150 breaks in the last 14 years. This is the close-up of that area. This neighbor is indicated as Area 1 in the previous map, or what we're calling Avenues 1-1 through 1-3 in the water and wastewater CIP. Currently, the design is underway to replace the sewer and water mains in this area bounded by the Cemetery Avenue, Huntington, Florida, and Taylor. Potholing work has been completed, and the staff should be receiving a 90% design in the next couple of months. And within the next fiscal year, staff is anticipating to bring to council the design service for the replacement of both the water and sewer from Florida and Taylor Avenue towards San Felipe Avenue as well. So here are just some of the pictures to show the state of our city's water infrastructure here. Just going clockwise, starting from the top, you see a picture on the top of the roof of the tank. There's corrosion forming on the top of the roof area. In the middle picture shows corroded water main pipelines that have been removed from the ground. You can see pipe clamps that were used to stop the main breaks and to restore water services. The top right shows another picture of the corrosion on the tank. The top below right shows a pipeline, cast iron pipeline that was removed from the water system, and you see the large holes within the pipeline. In the middle of the bottom, you see the water pipe that has been repaired with the clamp as well. And on the left corner shows another picture of a tank wall that's starting to corrode. And we brought some samples of 2 sections of our water system that were removed to show you the nature of what we're dealing with in our system. So as mentioned earlier, the city has many water and wastewater projects underway, and here's a detailed list of all the water projects that will be completed in the next 5 years, totaling approximately $42 million. The highlighted projects in red have already commenced, and staff will be bringing to council for design services of other projects once funding is available. And here's a similar list for the wastewater projects to be completed within the next 5 years. And this total is approximately $48 million. And as you can see, most of the wastewater projects are already underway and highlighted in red. And of course, it was driven by the consent decree. The city is making great progress to meet the consent decree deadline. And all the projects which are required to be completed under the consent decree are either already constructed or we're already under design. So we're fully underway for those projects. Overall, the city's making a great effort in improving our infrastructure. However, adequate funding is needed in order to support both council and to support, and the support of both council and the residents are required to achieve the city's goals. This concludes my presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for staff at this time? Marty?
So we're going to rebuild the Florida Park. We're going to totally redo that. And there's a water main that runs back a sidewalk through there. So are we going to replace that concurrently with that project? Because it would be terrible to build the park and then we come back a year from now and replace the water main. And so that area 1-1, is that the triangle that you showed, that includes where the Florida Park is?
That's correct.
So that will be replaced prior to the replacement of the park or building of the park?
As I understand it, the building of the park is scheduled to be completed by the end of this year, and the water main projects will not be constructed by the end of this year.
Okay, so we're going to be able to phase that because the line does run through the park.
Correct.
I think what the council member is asking for is something that we need to look at. It's not currently planned to replace the water line as part of the park development project. We will take a look at whether that could feasibly be accomplished without significant delay to the park
Well,
project.
it could be abandoned it can be abandoned in place, just that we need to plan around that, because if we don't, then we could wind up digging out part of the park, the connections to provide new water service to the park, because I believe we are doing some of that for the irrigation and for the new water fountain and stuff. So something to be keeping in the back of our minds about how we're going to be doing that work as we go forward with the design on the park.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, it's a report. There's no action here, but thank you for all the work. And I know people are complaining about bills, but we certainly have diminished the SSOs, which are really important for us. It's really paid off. So thank you very much, Jimmy.